Hey guys, Jessica Ruffin and NBC Sports' Steve Letarte here for NASCAR Fantasy Fastlane. Steve, we saw Joey Logano get his first win of the 2018 season. We're heading to a very different track this week with Dover, obviously from Talladega, but do you plan on playing him again?
I'm not going to play Joey Logano. Thankfully, he got the win at Talladega when he was in my lineup, and just thankfully that we're out of Talladega. That race was stressful for the drivers. It was stressful for the fantasy players. I was rooting Joey Logano on for the second stage. He couldn't quite get it done then, but he did at the finish of the race, so a lot of points either way.
So who are you looking at playing this week then as we head to Dover?
Well, the Monster Mile is a very tricky racetrack. That concrete surface is unfriendly to everyone. But one driver that seems to have it figured out pretty well at Dover is Martin Truex Jr. If you can believe it, it's statistically his best racetrack. Even though it's high banked and oddly shaped, I talk about it like an intermediate-sized racetrack because of the speeds. Their intermediate program is very, very, very fast, so I expect Martin Truex Jr. to be good. And you got to have really two must starts. And my other one, while he hasn't won a race, this probably has to be the site of his most heartbreaking loss, and that's the 9 of Chase Elliott. I thought he was going to win Dover last year, got passed in the final few laps. When I look at a breakthrough track for Chase Elliott, Dover comes to mind. I'm going to have him in my lineup as well.
Now, you've used Chase a lot. We talked about your usage last week, and Chase is one of the drivers you've used quite a bit. So any concerns about playing him again this week?
I have concerns, but I've done a good job of saving Kevin Harvick, saving Kyle Busch, saving some of the other drivers that I think are going to run well all through the summer. So I'm hoping Chase Elliott is the right driver to burn early. We're going to see as the summer wears on.
Well, we've got your must picks for Dover, so let's get a few more picks with 2 hot laps around Dover.
I'm glad to get 2 laps. Fast track.
First one is Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez, surprisingly, I would have in my lineup. While he only has 2 starts there, he's been in the top 10. I expect him to run well.
Kevin Harvick.
Harvick, gosh, I'm going to have to say avoid Kevin Harvick. While he won that big playoff race years back, Dover and Kevin haven't seemed to get along, so he's going to be on my bench.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson is a must start. He runs so well there. He's going to run up front. His numbers are great, so I would have Kyle Larson to start.
Last one, 11-time winner Jimmie Johnson.
Start. If Jimmie Johnson can't run in the top 5 at Dover, then I might as well not look at any stat. They are making gains. I know they're not leading laps. I know they're not where you expect 7-time champion contender to be, but you know what? He'll get there eventually.
Well, we saw Jimmie won from the rear last year at Dover. He's one of the drivers that knows how to get around that concrete surface, which can be really tricky. So what are the keys to getting around a place like that?
Well, the key to Dover is to figure out the racetrack. It's named the Monster Mile for a reason. It is a monster. It's abusive on the cars, abusive on the tires. What makes it so tricky is the concrete surface from Friday to Sunday changes dramatically. From lap 1 to lap 400 changes dramatically. Watch the race. When the yellow comes out, the track will actually lighten up. The cars rolling around slow will pick up the rubber. The cars drive very differently throughout a fuel run. While it looks like every other oval, it really has 4 completely different corners. You enter turn 1, you kind of go straight across to turn 2. The same thing in 3, straight across to turn 4. For the cars that don't have Dover figured out, it is a long, long afternoon.
Long afternoon, and it's a long weekend. Plenty of racing left to go. Be sure to tune into the race, set your lineups, and tune in 2 p.m. Sunday on FS1.